Okay, here's a walkthrough for loops exercise number 1. What we're going to start off with is a base file, example 4.8. So let's get that up and running. That you can get right off the software, processing software. So file, examples. Now, if you don't have these contributed examples right here, all you need to do is go in here and add them. I've added this one file right here, and that's the one I needed. You can add more of these if you would like, and then just simply hit install. Next thing you will see is a folder over here populated with those examples and whatnot. So we are looking at example 8.4. Wait, I want to make sure I got that right. 4.8, sorry. Okay, so we get this here. Let's run that to see what we're provided. Okay, so we're close to that boardwalk as it is. We have the steps, but we don't have the sidelines on this. So what we need to determine is how to do that. Using conditionals and for loops, it says as well. So let's get, I think about using a for loop for this. So let's look at our code again. We have a starting file, sorry. 4.8. We're going to build right off of this. Okay, so we're using a for loop. I is instantiated at 20. As long as I is less than 400, we're going to jump up by 20, execute what's inside the brackets here, and then pop back out to our loop and reevaluate I's position. So I will go up from 20 to 40, 60, 80, all the way up to 380, because once it hits 400, it is no longer less than 400, and it will exit this loop. So I's first value, if we want to look at how this is drawn, I's first value is going to be at 20. So we have X is 20, Y is 0. So when we make a line, it is a connection of 2 points. X1, Y1 will be right here. So that's 20 and 0. X2, Y2 will be this point down here in the bottom. So X2 is going to be 20 plus half, that's 30, and Y is 80. So we're going to go with 30, down 80, and that's going to be our next point here. When we exit that and come back out here, now I is going to be incremented by 20. So I is now, it was 20, now it's 40. So X1 is 40, Y1 is 0. So we go over here, 40, 0 for that point there. X2 is going to be 40 plus half, that is 50, and 80. So we're going to come over 50, down 80, and that's where we're going to get the X2, Y2. So it's going to continue to do that all the way up to 400 or 380. All right, so now what we need to do is right inside this area here, I'm going to say, there, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to say, let's do another line with starting at X1 at I and then 0. And then X2, let's go at I plus 20. And then Y at 0. And we will run that through that loop and see what that gives us. Okay, so that has that top piece here, but it does stick out a little bit here at the end. We may need to figure out how to fix that. But I'll do that cleanup at the end. Let's do our bottom line. So we have another line here, and our X value, I'm going to start that off at I plus half I. Okay, so that's going to be I plus half I, and my Y1 is going to be at 80, and then we're going to do, for our X2, I plus half I, and plus 30 there too, and then our Y2 will be 80. And now let's see where that puts us. Okay, good. Now I don't know if the bottom is correct because it runs off the screen, so I'm going to make it a little bit wider. I'm going to say maybe make that light just enough room that I know that I will get a chance to see at the bottom. And it does. It runs off on both of those. So I know that when when I gets to roughly 380, that's when it's going to end this loop. So I'm going to say as long as if I is less than, let's say, 370, that should work, then we're going to do everything in these brackets here. That should bound in those sidelines here. Okay, perfect. So there you go. So that's that'll be some code provided for your loops exercise number 1. Thank you.